So we're almost at the end of 2025, and I feel like I'm ready to declare that one candidate, and one candidate only, has had a really, really, really good political year. And that candidate's name is Gavin Newsom, the governor of California. Now you say, well, Chris, he's a two-term governor, he's term limited, he can't do anything else. Au contraire, mon frere, he can run for president, which I think is what he has been planning to do and what he has done a remarkably good job doing in positioning himself for as we've gotten into this year. So I think I want to go through three big reasons why I think Newsom is where he is. And just to go to the end at the beginning, he is where he is because where he is at the front of the field. He is at the front of the 2028 field. If not the front, he's right behind Kamala Harris, and I like his chances a lot more than Kamala Harris. I think at this point, it's just she's a little bit better known than him, so there's some polling that shows she's in better shape. But he is at the top of the field or close to it. On the betting markets, like Kalshi, he is in first by a lot, and Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez is in second, Kamala Harris is in third. So he has put himself in a pole position here. Poll, get it? P-O-L-L. See what I did? And I want to explain why. So there are three big reasons that I'm going to go through to do that. Before I do, I want to make a quick pitch to you. Subscribe to this channel. Independent, authentic. That's me. All right. Three reasons why Gavin Newsom had a great 2025 and why he has put himself in position to be the front runner, at least starting 2026, for the next Democratic presidential nomination. Reason one, Donald Trump in the spring sent National Guard troops into Los Angeles to deal with what he said were out of control protests against the Immigration and Customs Enforcement, or the roundups he was doing. Newsom understood that in every crisis there is opportunity, particularly for a politician, went in and was very aggressive in pushing back against Trump. He was on TV all the time. He was on social media all the time. He was on podcasts all the time. Everywhere you turned, you saw Gavin Newsom making the case that what Donald Trump was doing was a massive overreach that had huge consequences for the country. That's part one, okay? So on Trump's key issue, immigration, border control, Newsom saw an opportunity, and in ways that you didn't see J.B. Pritzker in Illinois do, and you didn't see some of these other people in other places where troops have been sent or called up, Newsom saw an opportunity and he seized it. He put himself in and said, I want to be the guy. I want to be the Democrat who is staring down Donald Trump. I want to be that person. Okay, that's step one, all right? Step two, and I don't know what, step two, I don't know who deserves the credit, whether this is Gavin Newsom or someone in his office or some combination, but someone along the line said, what if we used our Twitter account to troll Donald Trump? And that is what they did. So starting in the summer, Gavin Newsom turned his social media account into a massive troll operation. He talked like Donald Trump, like your favorite president says X or whatever. You know what I mean? He was always kind of over the top, writing in all caps, huge exaggeration, saying he was the smartest and the best, referring to himself by his three names, Gavin Christopher Newsom. Like, I mean, funny stuff. Now, is that the kind of stuff that the average swing voter is paying attention to? No, it's not. Of course not. But is it the kind of stuff that gets the Democratic base, particularly its online base and its donor base, really excited? 100%, you bet it is. They love that stuff. They love the idea that Trump is getting a taste of his own medicine, right? That finally someone is speaking up against Trump. And I will say it was effective in goading Trump. Trump didn't like it. Trump took notice of it. Trump talked about how he didn't like it. So there was some effect there. Again, I don't think Gavin Newsom's going to win Iowa in 2028 because he had a funny social media account that trolled Donald Trump, but it got the attention of the people paying attention right now, the political class, and in particular, Democrats and Democratic donors. But even with those two things, sorry, I just bumped into something. I'm in my basement because I'm having internet problems. Don't ask. Verizon. Anyway, even with those two things, I'm not sure he would have gotten to where he's gotten. The third thing, and this is the critical thing that Gavin Newsom did. So in late summer, it was clear that Donald Trump was pressuring Texas, Republicans in Texas, to change their congressional map to get more seats out of Texas for Republicans before the 2026 election. As that was happening, and as it was becoming clear that it was going to happen, Gavin Newsom took what I think is a very bold action. He said, we're going to use the power of California and its Democratic tilt to counteract what's happening in Texas. And what he did is actually pretty intricate. So California's maps, their congressional lines, are drawn by an independent redistricting commission. In order to get a new map, what Newsom had that favored Democrats even more, what Newsom had to do was the following. Draw the maps up. I mean, he didn't do it himself, but get maps that gave Democrats 5 more seats in California without losing any of their current seats. Convince the state legislature to vote for it. Now, the state legislature is overwhelmingly Democratic, but still convince the state legislature to vote for it. Not as easy as you think. Remember Donald Trump in Indiana last week. Number 3, get it on the ballot. Because this was an independent redistricting commission, you can't just change it like they did in Texas. You just can't change the law. You have to have the people of the state, voters of the state, approve the change. Get it on the ballot, and then get it to pass. And you say, well, it's California. Yeah, but I will tell you, early polling on the redistricting initiative on the ballot in 2025 was a little iffy. I remember making a video saying Gavin Newsom is taking a big bet here. And, you know, if he loses, he's going to lose a ton of the momentum he gained from the 2 things I mentioned earlier, the immigration fight and the social media stuff. So he takes this gamble and it wins with over 60% of the vote, which means a couple things. 1, Gavin Newsom gets credit again for staring down Republicans, beating Republicans, or at least fighting them to a draw at their own game, number 1. And number 2, he gets credit because if Democrats take the House in 2026, which I think they will, he will be one of the people responsible for it, right? He helped push back on Donald Trump's attempts to redistrict the country to keep the Republican majority. And that is a very big deal. So you add those things, the 3 things up: immigration, social media, and redistricting. And what you have is a guy who has basically been in the public national eye the entire year. And that's a really big deal. And you've seen it reflected. So, as I said, polling, he's up near the top. Betting markets, he's up or close to the top. And here's the best way I can prove to you that Gavin Newsom has had a really good year. This is from Axios from Monday, December 15th. Headline: Inside the push to knock Newsom off his perch as 2028 frontrunner. Okay, so that is an acknowledgement by everybody else in the race that Gavin Newsom is the 2028 frontrunner. Now, how are they going to do it? They say he's too liberal, he's from San Francisco, too close to some big moneyed interest in California. I mean, there's too ambitious. There'll be a lot of attacks on him. He may not stay in this pole position forever, but when other opponents are aiming at you, that means you're on the top. And that's a really good sign, because I did not think where Gavin Newsom started this year was not where he's finishing it. He started kind of mid-pack. I think people were like, yeah, on paper he looks good, but no, if he could do it. He has really had a remarkably strong year that he and his team deserve a ton of credit for. They have done a really good job in solving for the things that you need to solve for. Attention, and in the Democratic Party, being an active foil to Donald Trump at all times. And that's what Gavin Newsom has done. It is why he will start 2026 as the most likely Democrat to win the nomination. Now, the nomination won't be fought for another year and a half. I get it. But you know what? If you don't have a good 2025, you're not in position to have a good 2026 or a good 2027 or a good 2028. Presidential races build on themselves. You have to put the building blocks in early to then build on those as you go. And I think Newsom has done that better than any other Democrat or Republican in the field. He has had an outstanding year. Whether you like him or dislike him, or you don't know anything about him, pay attention. He has proven himself to be someone who is worthy of that top spot, and we're going to be continuing to talk a bunch about him into 2026. So, speaking of 2026, I hope you subscribe now, because I'm going to be making a ton of great content right here all throughout 2026. Other things you can do. You can like and comment on this video. That helps me grow among people who are not already subscribers, thanks to the YouTube algorithm. You can also be an evangelist for me. Tell a few people about what I'm building here and why you think it's important. All right, everyone, take care.